ideal conditions or simply deciding to check out were the top causes of death, with checking out being the leading one by a long margin. I suppose it has. What are the methane levels? Just over 4,000 parts per billion, sir. Hedan gestured absently, calling up the environmental report for himself and perusing it. Huh. They've reduced those as well. A little, at least. And the planetary temperature average seems low. I expect it has to do with the satellite constellation in low orbit, sir, Mercy said, highlighting the appropriate section of the scans. Hedan glanced it over and nodded. Weather control system. Crude from the looks of it, but the colonies never bothered with anything like it, so what do I know? We've never needed anything like it, Graves said. Our air isn't polluted so badly that our worlds actively try to kill us. We had advantages, Hedan said softly. By the time the colonies were established, we had already seen how badly things can go if you don't take some care. We also had a tech advantage that Earth paid for, with interest. After a moment, Hedan shrugged. That's a discussion for another time, however. ETA to orbit? 5 hours to geostationary orbit, Captain. Contact the orbital controllers then, Hedan ordered, and get coordinates for our parking orbit. Make sure there's enough space for the entire group. I want a standard neutral orbit picket. Aye, Captain. Be sure that everyone cleared to the surface knows not to irritate the locals, Hedan ordered. Terrans are a prickly bunch, at least when it comes to off-worlders. Yes, sir. Orders have already been issued. Good work. Imperial Palace, Almanska, formerly northeastern Germany. Old Earth, Terran Empire, 384 PD, post-Diaspora. Sylban Guyver's boots clicked rhythmically on the stone of the courtyard as he made his way through the security checkpoints, working into where the court was sitting for the celebrations. Security was everywhere, slowing the wave of people into the court as best they could, but it was like trying to stop the leading edge of a supernova's blast wave. The guards who moved to check his progress were set back when he exposed the badge that was partially concealed under the flap of his uniform jacket. Not even the blade on his hip, or the beam lock he wore at the small of his back would be enough to entice them to interfere with him after they saw that, and that was the way he liked it. It was a beautiful day for the celebrations of the Empress's third centennial, he had to admit. The Meteo engineers have outdone themselves this time. He wondered briefly how much tinkering it had taken. If everyone involved was lucky, only minor tweaks would have been required. If not, well, whatever bad weather would have normally struck would have to be redirected elsewhere. Some poor village might well be drowning in rain right now, he supposed with some dark amusement, though it was likely that they would have been able to redirect it to somewhere that needed the moisture. Despite the last century of the Gaia network working to maintain ideal conditions as much as possible around the globe, there were still droughts and floods and all the general sundry nastiness associated with extreme climates. There were just fewer of them, and they were generally better predicted. It was better than it had been after centuries of a near runaway greenhouse effect almost destroying all life on the planet, but there was still a long way to go before the damages caused by irresponsible exploitation of the closed system would be repaired. It was a testament to how easy it was to damage things and how very hard it was to repair them. Sylban! Sylban glanced up, noting a familiar man heading his way. He permitted himself a comradely smile, raising a hand to greet the approaching man. Eryn Aubrey was dressed much as Sylban himself was, wearing his charged carbon weave uniform and sporting the short saber of the Imperial Legion. Sylban knew that he would have a beamlock pistol attached to the belt at the small of his back, and likely a small auto pistol hidden under his uniform as well. Sylban did, after all. Eryn, good to see you. Sylban greeted the blonde-haired figure as he slowed. Are you well? The younger of the two, Eryn, smiled awkwardly, but nodded.